Hi everybody, welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Guard Swanson. You know, a lot of famous people have come out of Seattle. Chris Pratt, Kurt Cobain, Hilary Swank, just to name a few. But there's one hometown celeb who's smoother than the rest. Musician Kenny G is a local jazz legend. Born and raised in Seattle, Kenny G graduated from Franklin High and the University of Washington. From there, he became one of the biggest artists of all time, selling more than 75 million records worldwide. So when Kenny G recently came back to perform at Jazz Alley, Refine's MALIA KARLINSKY couldn't wait to meet him.
Will you do a little bit of Songbird?
That's easy.
That's why all the girls are swooning over you all the time.
Maybe so.
How many babies have been made to that song?
I don't know. Ask my attorney.
Those smooth sounds could only belong to Seattle's own Kenny G. For more than 4 decades, the saxophonist has been the Pied Piper of jazz, captivating audiences all over the world with his music. 1986's Songbird was his first bona fide hit.
But it's a really special song also because I performed it on the Johnny Carson show, and that exposure was so big, and nobody had heard music like that. Fortunately for me, they reacted well to it, and so I got a career out of it.
He may not be one to toot his own horn, but Kenny G is the biggest selling instrumental musician of the modern era, with over 75 million albums sold.
So you are one of the best-selling artists of all time, right? I mean, does that blow your mind?
Yeah, that does blow my mind, yeah.
It all started when Kenny Garelick attended Seattle's Franklin High, and his band teacher tapped him to fill in on soul singer Barry White's tour.
Back in the 70s, he was big. He was as big as they got. You know, I was in his little orchestra for 3 gigs. So I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. I got paid. I'm playing my sax. So I'll just keep trying to do this.
In 1982, Kenny signed his first major label contract with Arista. In an era of MTV synthpop, Kenny's sound was a breath of fresh air. The hits kept coming with songs like The Moment, Going Home, and Silhouette. And it wasn't just his horn that made him famous, it was also that hair.
Back in the 80s, 90s, let me ask you this. Who had better hair, you or Michael Bolton?
Oh, my hair was way better than Michael Bolton. I mean, I'll say that. I mean, his hair was long, but it didn't have the right, it didn't have the right conditioning.
What about you and Richard Marx? He also had some nice hair.
My hair was way better than his. He had that
mullet.
Mullet, yeah. By the way, we're still friends. He's interested in flying, and I'm a pilot.
You're a pilot.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he wants to go flying with me, but he's a little nervous.
Flying and golf are his passions, but for Kenny G, discipline is the name of the game.
I like anything that requires skill and patience and time to get good at. I like any of those things because there won't be very many people that do it. That's why saxophone playing appeals to me. It's the same thing.
How many hours a day do you practice your saxophone still?
3.
3 hours a day?
3.
For how many years? 30 years or more?
Or
You've been
more.
doing that?
Or more.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Speaking of time, he tends to keep his friendships forever, including one with bandmate Robert Damper.
We went to high school together.
How long have you been making music together?
Probably about on and off for about 40 years. We're still having fun.
Kenny G is a serious musician who loves music and loves making people laugh.
Kenny G!
He's had scene-stealing turns as a fantasy best friend in this Funny or Die video, and in the comedy A Bad Mom's Christmas.
Get the out, Kenny G.
I'm still getting paid, right?
I don't know. Take your little flute and shoot. Shoot fly.
Okay.
Go make another album.
It's not a flute.
But I think that's the funniest part of the whole movie.
I think so too, actually. It's a pretty funny line.
He may live in LA now, but with family including his dad and friends here, Seattle is still where Kenny G's roots are.
It's 1 in a million to have a career like mine. Yeah. It just is. It doesn't matter how good you are.
Yeah.
Just like, things happen. The stars line up and something magical happen,
And we got Kenny G.
yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, you got him. He was made.
He was made to make music.
That's right. I was actually, and to spread this beautiful, beautiful music.
MALIA KARLINSKY, Seattle Refined.